Look at you.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business. Complicated.
Where?
I like the idea they keep in jail longer. I'm the guy that wrote the bill requiring federal judges to keep people in jail 100% of the time for which they're sentenced. 100% of the time for which they're sentenced.
Liar.
Come on, baby. Let's investigate. Joe has a terrible history in the black community.
Period.
And everybody just loves him because he's the fluffy old guy.
Former Vice President Joe
Exactly.
Biden run for president. We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots. We don't need any more nigger big shots. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
Fill the room with the juice. That's a lot of loot. That bit fire. Yeah, she kinda cute.
We don't need any more nigger big shots.
Welcome back to the channel. Hello, hi. I didn't post a video yesterday because it was just so much going on in the world. Don't you just feel like there's a lot going on right now? Halloween, and then like Scorpio season, and then like the election tomorrow. There's a lot going on. So, of course, we must see what we shouldn't see, right? We must see what is unseen or not believed, or dusted under the rug. So let's go ahead and hop into this reaction. I'm super excited because I am not too sure how this is gonna be. It's 14 minutes long, so we'll get you a snack. Erica about doing a glass, something. Go get you something because this is gonna be a little bit. I have some chips here and a water and a Snapple, but honestly, I just put my trays in, and I have to keep these trays in for 2 weeks, and I'm literally not even used to them. Like, do you hear me talking? Do you hear me talking? It's like there's a lisp, but there's not a lisp, but there is a lisp. Like, it's very much that. Ooh, Rich Lux, let me leave you alone. Anyways, let's hop into Joe and see what's going on the Biden train. All right. Ooh, I am nervous. This came out in June, okay? Ciao.
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
I learned a lot. And I learned that and Corn Pop was a bad dude.
I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro, good for the black in the South. Other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed their mind a little bit. If Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet, it wouldn't matter a whole lot. Is it because blacks are involved in Haiti?
It was old media that got him in trouble. Personal comments he made about another White House hopeful, Senator Barack Obama.
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and
not articulate and clean and nice looking.
He's going to let the big banks once again write their own rules.
Yo.
Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it.
Wait, what?
Just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my...
Look, he thought that was a good little joke. Look at him.
My record, man.
Look
I
at
have
him.
a record that is second
Your record
to
is
none.
trash,
the
bro.
NAACP's endorsed me every time I've run.
That's a false. Yeah. False.
The word, I mean, come on. Take a look at the record.
He's a liar.
Come on, baby. Let's investigate. Joe has a terrible history in the black community.
Period.
And everybody just loves him because he's the fluffy old guy.
Former Vice President Joe Biden has run for president twice
You
before.
better get out of here,
unsuccessfully.
man. Let me
He's
stop.
never
Let me be
before
quiet.
been the
Let me be.
frontrunner. Now that he is towering over all the other declared Democratic candidates, his almost 5 decades in public life are getting some real scrutiny. And top of that list, his record on civil rights during his younger days as a U.S. Senator. CNN's Jeff Zeleny has exclusively obtained some letters written by Biden himself.
Joe Biden is coming back as a solo act.
Hey, I'm ready to go.
With his long record facing a new look under the spotlight of the 2020 campaign.
Gentlemen and ladies of the Senate.
One chapter
Look at
receiving
him.
fresh scrutiny comes from his earliest years in the Senate, when he strongly opposed mandatory school busing. It was designed to achieve integration and a more equitable education. What's less known is how he followed the lead of some of the Senate's most fervent segregationists. In a series of never-before-published letters reviewed by CNN, the strength of Biden's opposition to busing comes into sharper focus. On March 25, 1977, Biden wrote, "My bill strikes at the heart of the injustice of court-ordered busing. It prohibits the federal courts from disrupting our educational system." Biden sought and received support from Mississippi Senator James Eastland, the Democratic chairman of the Judiciary Committee, and a leading symbol of Southern resistance to desegregation. He frequently spoke of blacks as, quote, an inferior race. Eastland and others were partners on several of Biden's anti-busing bills. On June 30th, 1977, Biden wrote, "Dear Mr. Chairman, I want you to know that I very much appreciate your help during this week's committee meeting in attempting to bring my anti-busing legislation to a vote." Then in 1978, Biden again asked Eastland to put his anti-busing bill before the full Senate, writing, "Your participation in floor debate would be welcome." Ronnie Dunn is a professor at Cleveland State University who
Man, I already knew about this.
Those letters I
It's just
find somewhat surprising given
surprising?
Senator Biden's or Vice President Biden's current position and potential candidacy for the presidency, and his position as a liberal,
which I said when
those are
Obama
issues
was
that he's
president.
obviously going to have to.
Child, this making me mad.
You said surprising. Surprising in what way?
Oh
well,
my God!
The fact that he would solicit the support of staunch segregationists, James Eastland, as well as Jesse Helms.
I can't imagine living in that time.
Busing at that time.
I can't imagine. I would be
Now to the
heated
race
all the
this
time.
morning,
Heated.
and new backlash against former Vice President Joe Biden. He's refusing to apologize. As
Exactly. He refused to. I said this earlier
examples
when I was
segregation
streaming.
senators 40 years ago.
He refused.
Apologize for what?
Literally,
to apologize for touting his
I
ability to find
remember
common
this
ground
being
with
such a big
senators
deal
he
to me, and
disagreed
no
with,
one cared because they were like,
Biden
he's just
is
a
facing
vice
sharp
president. I was
criticism
like,
at a fundraiser Tuesday. Biden
it's not
describing
about that. It's
Senator
about the fact that like y'all
Georgia as one
still
of the
like
meanest
allow
guys
people
I
like
ever
this
knew.
in
But
office.
adding, well, guess what? At least there was some civility. We got things done.
Wow.
And recalling Senator James Eastland of Mississippi, Biden said, "He never called me boy. He always called me son." Biden's 2020 rival, Senator Cory Booker, demanding an apology.
Somebody running for president of the United States.
Right.
Somebody running to be the leader of our party.
Right.
Should know that using the word boy in the way he did can cause hurt and pain. Vice President Biden shouldn't need this lesson.
Now, Biden actually took it a step further, saying that it was Senator Cory Booker who owes him the apology.
Cory should apologize.
It was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country.
Look at his face.
And it was not only that,
He doesn't care at all.
You also worked with them to oppose busing.
Look at his face.
And, you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class
He's just
to integrate
looking
her
down.
public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
To coddle the reputations of segregationists, of people who, if they had their way, I would literally not be standing here as a member of the United States Senate, is, I think, it's misinformed and it's wrong.
But Biden is not backing down.
This girl. Yes. Fully aware.
I like the idea they keep in jail longer. I'm the guy that wrote the bill requiring federal judges to keep people in jail 100% of the time for which they're sentenced. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask, what made them do this? They must be taken off the street. Increase the penalties. Increase them. I would put the son of a gun in jail. Put them to death.
From the crack epidemic of the 80s to the crime wave of the 90s to the post 9/11 war on terror, throughout his career, Biden has represented the Democratic Party consensus. shifting his views to fit whatever best serves his own political career. Over his 44 years in the Senate and then as vice president, Biden was a leading architect of today's criminal justice system, which contributed to mass incarceration and the police misconduct that protesters are fighting back against today.
Biden crime bill, the Biden crime bill.
Bro.
Biden crime bill. Hell, we've had crime bills coming out our ears. Every major crime bill since 1976, every minor crime bill has had the name of the Democratic senator from the state of Delaware, Joe Biden. You got a gun, you commit a felony, 10 years. We already have it 5 years. Minimum mandatory. Judge can't say, you know, you had it in your pocket, you never intended to use it, we're only going to give you 1 year. Judge has to say 5 years. Well, he wants to make it 10 or 20 or 60. We can work that out.
He wanted to remove judicial discretion for those who, quote, don't meet the middle-class criteria of susceptibility to rehabilitation.
They are beyond the pale, many of those people.
Wow.
They literally have not been socialized.
Wow.
They are in jail.
They have not been socialized.
Away from my mother, your husband, our families.
Bro. The Biden-Thurmond Violent Crime Control Act of 1991 would have increased the maximum sentence for 44 crimes to include the death penalty.
A wag in the newspaper recently wrote, Biden has made it a death penalty offense for everything but jaywalking. I'm going to make it for 46 crimes. Biden says make it for 51. We're going to get tough.
Then he presented the final version of the legislation.
60 new death penalties, brand new, 60. There are 70
this y'all president.
Enhancements
this y'all president.
I.e., you go to jail longer.
This y'all president.
After his disastrous 1987 presidential campaign, Biden had staged his political comeback, in part by becoming a media darling on issues of policing and crime. And he led the fight to pass the landmark 1994 crime bill under Bill
human
Clinton.
Poop
when I wrote the original bill that started this whole process, the so-called Biden crime bill, I didn't call a liberal confab and write it. I didn't call any big society people and write it. I called the cops. A Democratic president wants 100,000 cops. A Democratic president wants to build 125,000 new prison cells. That's the secret. That somehow the Republicans tried to make the crime bill tougher. I say, poppycock. They didn't make anything tougher. Found out that this midnight basketball isn't getting them together a bunch of jive folks living in their city to do, try to see if they can be Michael Jordan. When they found out they were keeping schools open, so gangs come off streets instead of out raping my mother, marauding me, robbing the local store. They're in a gymnasium, and my daughter will be safer. My wife will be safer.
Wow.
My mother will be safer, and I will be safer.
Yeah,
and I will be happy.
Just your people.
Never again
and you get to be happy.
Should Washington put politics and party above law and order.
Along with several laws passed in the 80s, the 1994 crime bill drove up the local, state, and federal prison
Bill Clinton,
populations.
that's y'all's
and
president too,
the
ain't it?
reputations of Biden and
That's
Bill
y'all's
Clinton,
president
who signed it
too.
into law.
Right.
When Biden ran for president in 2008, he told the New York Times that he knew more people would be locked up across the board. You ashamed of that bill?
Not at all. And the fact I drafted the bill, we had enormous success.
The mass incarceration created by Biden's lock-em-up policies ripped apart vulnerable communities and families for a generation, and the federal funding streams and law enforcement infrastructure it created continue to hinder reform efforts.
I'll do my job, and I will take responsibility.
You ashamed of that bill?
Not at all.
Look at you.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business. Complicated.
This man is so funny. I can't take it seriously. I just start laughing. Oh, snap. I didn't even know all this. I mean, I knew a little bit, but I didn't know all of it. I knew some things, but wow. Look at this, y'all. I don't know who made this video, but wow. Let me know what y'all think down below, okay? I didn't know the video was gonna go like this. Wow. I'm shook. Okay.
Mine is real short. 2 months ago, I was in a prison cell, and I'm in the White House. Let's continue to make America great again.
Oh, I wonder what he went to prison for.
We are one nation. We grieve together, and we heal together. I can never imagine your pain or the depth of your anguish, but I can promise to fight for justice for all of our people. We must improve accountability, increase transparency, and invest more resources in police training, recruiting, and community engagement. Reducing crime and raising standards are not opposite goals. They are not mutually exclusive. They work together. They all work together. That is why today I'm signing an executive order encouraging police departments nationwide to adopt the highest professional standards to serve their communities. Today's action is a big part of the solution to restoring, renewing, and rebuilding our communities. For the last 3.5 years, my administration has been focused on creating opportunity, fighting for equal justice, and truly delivering results.
Wow.
I am with you. I will fight for you, and I will win for you. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again.
Who y'all think gonna win? I'm
We will make America safe again.
Man.
And we will make America great again. God bless you and good night. I love you.
Yikes. Yo, I must know. Yo, I said I must know who wins. I'm over here acting like I'm watching some like TV show where they have seasons. It's like, who's gonna win this one? I can't. Yo, first of all, look, I had no idea that video was gonna go that way. I thought it was gonna be only about Joe Biden. I didn't think they were gonna put Trump in it at all. I was actually gonna see if I could find a video of Trump, like, and his racist history, you know, to kind of have like a compare and contrast moment kind of thing. So that's actually quite interesting. I wonder who made this video. I'm gonna have to look. It just popped up on my recommendation. And I was just like, well, I already knew that, you know what I mean? But I was like, let's go ahead and watch it, see what I don't know. And golly, there's a lot more than I didn't exactly know, but. Or I should say really the details of it. But man, guys, I mean, look, when Obama was president, I talked about how much I despised Joe Biden. I talked about it all the time. And there were people who didn't even know who he was, let alone care. They're like, okay, like, it's not that big of a deal. No, it is a big deal. There's a lot that he's done that's like really messed up. And you have to understand, he did this, 1992, 1994, obviously before then, but that one crime order or whatever around that time, I literally was born in 1992. So if I'm born in 1992, like, and I'm not in this country, I'm obviously in the UK, and then I come over here and this is what's going on. Like, that's a little too much for me. Okay, that's really scary. That's scary to even see that. But no, seriously, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you even care. Let me know if you don't care. If you're one of those people that are like, I don't care who wins, just do stuff because everything sucks. If you're one of those people, also let me know, because that is wild. Like, oh, he really is the one to blame, honestly, for a lot of what is complained about right now, today. And to think Black Lives Matters, all the donations go to the Joe Biden campaign. Guys, I'll see you on the next one. I gotta go meditate some, just breathe, because what the heck? Love you guys. See you in the next one. And And we will see who the next president of the United States is very, very soon. Yikes. Pulling out the coupe in the lot, 12 for a squat, busting all the bells out the box. Hit a leap